Well, it is the first day of the earnings season, and the news is as good as you could possibly hope for. Now, generally, the market looks to these first earnings reports as a great bellwether. And if the banks come out really, really good, it's looking like good for the economy. But we have this interest rate and inflation hangover. And so you never quite know whether the news is good or bad. But the market is happy this morning. It is going up definitely, and it's probably because of JP Morgan and BlackRock and others who are reporting today, and all reporting very substantial beats. Hi, this is Randy Kirk. If you like getting this news in the morning, please hit the like button to energize me and make me feel enthusiastic about getting up and doing it. And then hit subscribe and notify. We've got 2 more episodes coming up today and an amazing one coming up on Saturday morning you don't want to miss. Anyway, yeah, and of course, Patreon. Thank you so much for those who have joined this week. Appreciate you so much, and could use some more folks coming on board. All right, the market is up, but the Magnificent Seven is soft. I think the rebalancing announcement, which is coming today, is still affecting the Magnificent Seven. Nobody knows quite how the rebalancing is going to actually come out and who's going to be affected most. So we'll see what happens later today when that announcement is made. We don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Turning to Tesla news, India is looking more and more like a done deal. Discussions now revolve around whether Tesla can bring in their favored suppliers or whether they have to look to Indian suppliers. The government of India is really, really emphasizing and really trying to put pressure on Tesla to use local folks, and Tesla would like to use the folks they know and respect and know can do the great job. Also, on the India front, they're saying Tesla won't get any special import duty breaks, but that could always change. All right, Porsche Taycan sales dropped down again. The drop is a continuation of a downtrend. This is another failed Tesla killer. See the video that we did 2 days ago on the fact that nobody apparently can really make a great BEV except Tesla. Anyway, it's just more evidence of that taking place. Now, Porsche Taycan, I would consider to be one of the better ones. They are claiming that this is a continuation of the problem with them getting the chips that they need, not a problem with demand. Well, we'll see. By the end of this year, they will not be able to continue to make that claim. Tesla is the most Googled car in 39 countries. The report that came out yesterday was suggesting that this is evidence that Google is by far the #1 most sought car in those 39 countries and in half of the US states. That's no surprise to me. I'm not sure that this is a really good way to evaluate that, but for now, we will go along with their number and their headline, which can't hurt Tesla. Federal Reserve Governor Waller came out saying that he'll be voting for another increase. After all this good news on inflation, he says he's still voting for another increase and probably will vote for the one at year end, near year end. He's happy to see inflation down, he says, but one data point is not enough. What does he mean, one data point? He could give me a call. I'll show him a lot of data points. Hey, Governor Waller, would you please give me a buzz, send me a note? I don't care how you get in touch with me. I'll show you a whole bunch of data points. So in the meantime, a Nobel Prize winning economist, Christopher Pizarrides, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyway, he told CNBC's Street Signs Europe on Thursday, quote, on balance, I don't think there will be need for further hikes in the United States at least. Europe might be a different story, but the United States does not. There's a data point for you, Governor Waller. He goes on to say, it takes time for these to have their full effect. So given that inflation is moving in the right direction, that interest rates are high, I would just wait and see what happens next. Yeah. Okay. How about this? Import prices dropped 0.2% last month. That's the report out this morning, the Labor Department said. Data for May was revised to show import prices declined 0.4% instead of 0.6% last month. But now it's another 0.2% this month. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast import prices, which exclude tariffs, dipping by 0.1, but it was by 0.2. In the last 12 months through June, import prices have tumbled 6.1%. That's the biggest year-on-year decline since May 2020 and followed a 5.7% drop in May. Annual import prices have now decreased for 5 straight months. Governor Wilder, there's another point. So, all right. I got some more National Federation of Independent Business data this morning. It appears that small businesses' chances of getting loans increasing, though still not at the 50% of pre-pandemic rates. So what would the chances of these small businesses getting a loan was down as low as like 12%. Now it's back up to like 19%, but typically it's around 50%. Interest rates are up, but the average rate is under 10% for these small businesses. I suspect that most businesses are just finding other ways to deal. I owned a business when interest rates went from the prime at the current levels right now, the levels that you're seeing right now, under 10%, to around 12%, and it caused a lot of problems. But then in another recession, the interest rates weren't nearly so bad, but there was no money in the system. So there's no way to creatively deal with the fact that there's no money in the system. I mean, I was creative enough to go out and trade product, not even my own product, to pick up product from some of my customers rather than cash because I thought I could turn around and sell it. It's the money that can cause the really serious problems. We've got to watch M2 and watch velocity for another day. All right, here's a super cool story. Exponential sector growth means wind and solar projects are predicted to generate at least 33% of global electricity, up from the 12% now by the end of the decade. This will lead to a fall in fossil fuel generated power and cheaper power. It'll be cheaper power, of course, because right now the cost of solar power is already the cheapest form, and it will fall to as low as $20 per megawatt hour from around $40 currently. So the cost of energy is predicted to drop in half, according to reporting by Susanna Twidale. Boy, I have problems with these last names. So this is amazing news that these are current predictions for the end of the decade. And I'm thinking, these are what is very likely. In fact, it's probably going to even more than this, but it's nice to see predictions coming out from others. I don't usually report on Twitter or other Elon Musk companies in this space, but there are some that feel that the Meta and Threads competitive move against Twitter is hurting Twitter, and that this could be a new Twitter overhang for Elon and Tesla. Well, Elon fought back yesterday in a major way, with first checks going out to content providers, and some of them were substantial in the multiple thousands of dollars. And now all the talk of Twitter yesterday, and I've already looked this morning, the talk on Twitter is a gold rush going to Twitter of content providers going, okay, how do I get on this deal? I saw tweets where people were saying, well, all I got to do is put up controversial stuff and people will, respond to my tweets. Or I go on somebody who has millions of followers and make really controversial statements, retweets, quote retweets on their content, and then I'll get millions. So the gold rush is on at Twitter, and being a first mover again is going to matter. The content providers are going to get in there, they're going to get started making money, and then they're not going to want to be bothered to go to another place or stop getting their income from Twitter. So this could be a big deal in terms of in terms of Twitter holding on to and increasing their current level of participation. News out says that AirPlay may soon be coming to Tesla's entertainment centers. Someone has seen something in the code, so that would be extremely good news. From Malaysia said that they had a conversation with Elon Musk yesterday, and the move into that country seems to be coming along quite nicely. This is not even probably at the level of a megapack factory at this point. Not clear exactly what Elon has in mind, other than, of course, having cars come in, selling cars in Malaysia. The opening continued with the trend seen from overnight. Let's talk about the Mag 7 again. They were flat, were down early, but then started to come up. The real reset numbers are going to be released later today. And maybe we'll see a relief rally if the reset is not as bad as expected, or if it's about as bad as expected, or if it's not too much worse than expected. So anyway, I think we'll see Tesla up another $5 or $5.50, which is the amount it needs to be up each day. You know, my statement yesterday that Tesla needs to go up $5.50 a day to get to 300 by Wednesday was not intended to be a prediction that Tesla would go up $5.50 yesterday, but of course it did go up $5.90 yesterday. It was pretty funny. Let me take a quick look here. The Nasdaq and the Dow are still up strongly. The Dow up 172, the Nasdaq up 63. Apple, though, is only up 28 cents. Tesla is only up 91 cents. Google up 2, which is a little better. And Amazon down up 57 cents. So that continues to be the trend there. I think that is what we're going to see. Oil, gold, and everything related to interest rates and to the banks were all going down this morning. Let me take one more last look for you. Let's see. It is still true. Crypto is down big. The dollar is down at a 15-month low. Gold is down another $1.90. Oil is down 59 cents, and the bonds are slightly up. So all of those things being down would indicate that those are all good for inflation. The bonds being up slightly this morning would indicate maybe a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of profit taking this morning, because there's no real reason for bonds to be up this morning in the news. All right. Be sure and check out my prediction list. I put out a prediction list. You guys asked for it. The card is right here. Look for my predictions. I did 20 predictions, did a video about them. I'll put up the whole list up on Patreon. And so you can take a look at that list and see, now you can follow my predictions. I can give you a reference back and say, here's what I predicted. I predicted things about, about when Optimus is coming out, how many Optimus bots are currently working in the warehouse, things of that nature, but also things to do with Tesla's price targets and earnings, et cetera, et cetera. So now you guys can keep me honest, see whether I really am any good at this predicting thing. Okay, so hit like if this morning's was valuable to you, this particular edition. Be sure to check back later today. Hit notify if you'd like to. I'll have 2 more programs out later today. Good stuff coming up over the weekend. And then, of course, buy the books and become part of Patreon, where I'm now putting up original content, which will never be seen. Well, I don't want to say it will never be seen. If it's important, I will always put it up on YouTube in some way, some form, but a lot of it isn't timely. So I'm putting it up on Patreon in a very special and original way. So it's free right now, 7 days free if you join Patreon, and then you can decide whether you want to spend an entire $5 whole per month to keep on doing it. All right, this has been great this morning. I really enjoyed this conversation. And lovely talking to you.